Hi YouTube, it's DJ the Aspiring Gearhead again. Welcome back to the channel. As you can see, my layout looks a little bit different, which is actually because I recently moved. We're actually in the process of moving now, but we have the house, which is great. And one of the new nice additions, now that we have this house, is a garage, which means a new workspace for my cars, actually. Right now, as you can see, it's still kind of cluttered right now because right now we're getting a lot of my mom's stuff in first and then we'll come bring mine later. But I have a garage now. I can actually work on this thing in an enclosed space, which I kind of preferred. It's kind of weird because before this, I was living in a one-bedroom apartment in a complex, which nothing really wrong with it, but for me it was always kind of weird, the idea of really getting into my car and not paying attention to what's around me, or getting under my car in an open space where just anybody can walk by. At the time that I started this video, the idea was to just go to my mom's place because she lives in a more secluded place. It's 55 and up, or not even 55 and up, more like 40 something and up, and she had her own little carport so I could work away from people. But now I'm in an actual garage, so I can work in solitude, don't have to worry about making sure nobody's walking past me, etc., etc. Which, probably kind of a weird thing to worry about, but that's me. So now that I'm in my garage area, I can actually get started on the long process of building this car back up. This is my Elantra, by the way. So the first thing I got to deal with would be the tires. I figure they're kind of important. If there's a problem with those, it ain't going anywhere. So I'm going to show you what my tires look like right now. The upside to doing this little thing here where I take a look at the tires is that I get to figure out how to use this floor jack again. I could definitely use some more experience with it because it's kind of weird finding the placement on the bottom of the car. And as you can tell, the lighting in here is not optimal. That's on my to-do list. So in the meantime, once I actually get the tires off and we can get a look at the treads, I'm going to use this extra flashlight. So first things first, let me loosen the nuts on the tire, lift it up, and then I can pull it off and we can get a better look. Okay, so now I've got the front driver's side tire off the axle. I decided to move it a little closer to the lights so you can get a better look at it. So right now, taking a look here, if we get in close, gotta come in a little bit of an angle. So as you can see from right about there, yeah, there's still some tread left on them, but yeah, it's kind of going down. So yeah, replacement in the future would be good. See, within this video, you're mostly going to hear me talking about the tread on the tires, because truth be told, that's the only thing I can actually tell when it's bad. But one thing that did kind of stick out to me while I was moving this tire around is the fact that it tends to lean a little bit over to the right side whenever I roll it, and it seems like it's going to fall over. So I'm guessing I should probably make sure it gets aligned along with the replaced. Okay, so that was the front driver's side tire that we got to look at. Now I'm going to do the rear driver's side tire. Man, funny thing, when I got this floor jack, like, oh, this, I can definitely use this to replace the scissor jack because that thing takes forever to jack the car up. But then as I held it in my car for 2 or 3 weeks before we ended up moving here, I was like, oh, right, that's right. This thing is really, really heavy. So carrying this thing around would probably cause more trouble. Okay. So now this tire's jacked up. And I've pretty much entered that phase where every little creak, crackle, whatever is making me worry that I'm either about to do something that's going to make my car blow up in the future or I'm going to tip it over. Great feeling. But hey, this is how I learn. So, as you can see by looking at these, they are not in as good a shape as the front tires. They are practically bald. So, yeah, definitely gonna get a replacement. I figure since it's right after the new year, I might still be in that little bit of loophole time where I can get a decent deal on all 4 tires, but we'll see. So, let's see what happens when it rolls. That thing falls way sooner than the front tire did. So, yeah, so definitely not too good on the balance. So alignment's got to be off. I imagine the fact that the front tire is still got some tread on it and this one's basically bald probably tells me something, or it will tell me something once I've done some research and asked some questions. Okay, we are 2 for 4. So 2 more tires to do, just the passenger side ones. And here we see the problem I pretty much expected, but still kind of annoying, which is that not as much clearance on this side. We haven't quite moved everything over here, but I can make it work. Okay, so I'm on the other side. I found a spot where I can jack the car up. Fortunately, because of the restricted space, I had to take off the top half of the bar for the jack, but it's okay. I have to go with the pad on it. Stay. Yeah, this one's embarrassing. I'm pretty sure I don't even need the flashlight to see it. But yeah, that is a whole lot of lack of traction right there. And that one, it almost looks like it's turning into slicks, which is not good. So, yep, another reason for me to replace the thing. Oh, and it's rolling on its own. It's not falling over like the other one did, but oh, I think part of it might just be how I'm pushing it. And now we have reached the final event, the 4th tire. As you can see, no, the hubcap on this one is not already off. I actually lost the freaking thing. I vaguely remember hearing this weird noise one day after I put some air in my tires and put the hubcaps back on. Apparently that was the sound of my hubcap flying off on the freeway. So yeah, my car's pretty much had one foot looking different than the others for the last few months. So I guess along with replacing the tires, I should also look for a new set of hubcaps, which is also a good idea considering for some reason these are the ones that show the that look like the 5 nut circulation, whereas mine is a 4. So I'm like, it's kind of weird. I want something that matches it. But anyway, let's take a look at the 4th tire. Now, I get to see how, oof, that was a little close. Yeah, I get see how much room I have for this. It's a good thing it came with a 2-sectional bar. That's definitely saved me some trouble. I figured trying to move this thing without a bar at all, or trying to move it over so I could use the one long piece would be kind of problematic. Another funny little quirk about the front right tire is that apparently the nuts are different. Right now, these are the ones that I'm currently dealing with now on this one, whereas the other 3 tires have this. So yeah, completely different set. Actually, the reason this isn't on right now is because if you see real close, it's still got half of pretty much one of the studs in it. Way back when, I actually broke 2 of them off and had to get them replaced. It was actually done by a neighbor we had at the time. His name was Slim. He was a cool dude. He just replaced them all, but I guess he put these ones on to replace it because he had a full set or something like that. I figured right now, apparently they work. My tire hasn't flown off, but I want to get I guess I'm going to put on the list, but I want to get a new set of these ones so that they all match. Plus, I figured it just looks a little bit better to me. But mainly because it matches. I still remember when I first got this car and none of the tires matched, and that bugged me for months. It took me so long to save up to get the same tire for each one, and I can remember just feeling so good about it. So yeah, just a funny little thing. So looking at this one, like the other tire on the front, there's still a decent amount of tread left, and it no major bald patches. It seems to yeah, definitely because of the way I'm rolling it, but it seems to roll okay. But yeah, I figured since I got to replace 2, I might as well replace 4. Another thing I got to work on as far as the tires is I also got this. The original actually didn't come with any kind of spare, so I actually ended up getting this. I can't remember if I told the story or not, but yeah, basically about 4 years ago when I was working at a job, one of my coworkers was like, "Oh, my car broke down. I'm just gonna, sell it, part it out, whatever. Go ahead and take whatever you need off of it." I was like, "You know what? I could use a spare." And I figured I didn't want a donut. I wanted a full-on replacement tire so that I'd be good for a while. So that's also part of my search for a new set of tires. I also gotta make sure I include the spare in my math. Yeah, that is a little too much light. Anyway, that's about it for my tires. As you can see, they definitely need to be replaced. And I'm actually working on that now. But right now I'm going to turn on my car and move it up out of the garage. That way I can just make sure I didn't accidentally jack up the wrong section of the car. So let's see. Good, no lights. So it looks like I did okay. Okay, so yeah, just moved the car out and I'm back in the garage. So yeah, like I said, those tires definitely need to be replaced, and I'm actually working on it as we speak. The ones that are currently on it now are actually the Starfire RS-C 2.0s. I was doing a bit of research to see if I could get something a little different, but I figured given the fact that I'm pretty sure those things need to be changed as quick as possible, I actually found the Starfire Solaris AS tire. So those Starfires I've had for a good 2-3 years now, and they're only just now showing some problems, so I figure it's a pretty reliable brand. But I want to look for something a little different because I figure I'm a little on the faster side. I mean, nothing crazy, but I figure I want something that could potentially hold up better at high speeds. So I'm still doing some digging for what I could put on later, but for now I'm going to go ahead and get those new Starfires put on this week. Anyway, that's where I'm going to wrap this video. If you have any helpful advice, feel free to leave it in the comments. I would definitely appreciate it, especially this early into the thing. Also, comment, like, subscribe, whenever you like. This has been DJ, the Aspiring Gearhead. Take care.